washing it, like couple days. And when you do wash it, you still might feel a little bit like residual effects, especially if you're washing it in like hot water. You might feel kind of like like in your throat, because that stuff, it gets everywhere. It sucks. It's the worst. That's kind of it on like substances to use. Yeah. No. Well, if it was dispersing right in your eye from a canister, maybe because of the heat. I don't know. But with contact lenses, again, that is something like the general wisdom is like don't wear them, but I also understand there's situations that can come up, like you have them in for whatever reason. I mean, getting your glasses knocked off would also make you not be able to see. So there's trade-off there. And I've heard mixed things from people on the ground that were wearing contact lenses, because I mean, it's said that like it can get in under the lens against your eye, which sounds like it really sucks. I haven't heard that from people that have experienced that with lenses, that's happened, and I'm sure it could. If you're rinsing out someone's eye, probably just take the contact lenses out. You're gonna throw those things away. But I think it's kind of like a toss-up whether you just absolutely cannot wear contact lenses. That's like a decision that that person has to make. Yeah, and there was a hand up over here. Sorry, I'm gonna grab you first. Sure, I mean, you could do that if you like. I don't think there's anything wrong with doing that, but I would probably take, as soon as it is like reasonable to do so, I would just take all those clothes off and bag them up. Like I wouldn't want to track my clothes through the house. So if you maybe can like take it all off like on your porch or in your backyard or something, bag all that up and then get in the shower and just deal with that stuff later. Like it will, if your clothes sit for a while, they'll still maybe be a little spicy after a couple days, but like it's not going to have the same effect. So I would probably do that. I don't know. It sounds like uncomfortable to take a cold shower with your clothes on, but I think it would probably work. Yeah. But I wouldn't want to track my like tear gas stuff through the house. So you had a question and then you next. So what's up? Yeah. Maybe not so much with like, I think it takes kind of a lot to like feel the burning on your skin from that. So I don't necessarily, not through like clothes, but through like a regular, like we're wearing masks now, you know, because of COVID. This is not enough. And I'll talk about, I brought a respirator, but like this, you'll still, I mean, I think it would maybe help a little, but like this is not going to cut it. Like you'll still be coughing and feeling the effects. So, but the burn instance that I was talking about, I mean, that is a specific situation of like your legs right next to the canister when it disperses, and I think it was that did burn through someone's like jeans. But just like the burning effect, like the chemical effect of a tear gas or pepper spray, I think, especially beyond one layer, you'd probably be okay. Yeah.
Anything? Do you know anything?
Yeah, I have heard similar things, and that's definitely one of those like in a pre-COVID world, like things that have been passed down from folks like being out in the streets would be to take like a bandana that's covered, like water would be okay, but something like a 50-50 mixture of like water and lemon juice or water and apple cider vinegar would help a little bit. I have not tried it, so I can't really attest to like, we just live in a different time. People are wearing masks. There's like a lot more going on than just like a pepper ball or like a spray of pepper spray. So I think it would be better than nothing for sure. Yeah. To like have.
And the like one comment I had is,
Huh?
and the one comment I had is, if anyone does bring milk, it will feel bad after a while.
Well, especially in Sacramento in the summertime.
I didn't hear it mentioned that stuff's gonna curdle after a minute.
Yeah.
You don't want to get that curdled milk in your eyes.
Yeah, it's not, I mean, if you're in a situation, and some folks were, like, because in some situations where people were tear gassed in Sacramento, the only option that they had was knocking on people's doors for help. And in those situations, like, those people, like, but this is why we have talks like these, right? Like, they give them milk, and they're like, it felt great, and it worked. So, like, you know what? Great. If that is what you have, sure. Water is pretty easy to find, though. So this is, like, preferable. Because, again, like, something like liquid antacid would, like, help with the burning, but so would just, like, flushing it off. So, more questions about any of that? I am going to talk a little bit about, like, flushing technique, but.
What was the name of that compound you mentioned?
Sudecon. Sudecon.
Okay.
Sudecon, I think. That's new. That's the thing I had only personally heard about, like, from this summer. But folks in Portland were using it. They said it helped great. And then again, just like don't put it in eyes. It's for skin. Just
It's the best thing ever.
wiping off. Yeah, people enjoyed it. So, yeah.
Would it be helpful to like have clothes to change into in your car before you get into your car? So
Yes.
you don't like
Yes.
have it in your seat?
That's an excellent question, and absolutely. If it's like you, and then especially if it's like more than, if you're like, what you should do, not go alone ever, you go with your homies, you all get tear gas, and you all get in your car together with your tear gas clothes, yeah, you're gonna be miserable. You're gonna, like, as soon as you get in the car, you're gonna be like, oh shit, like, it's gonna mess you up all over again. So, as soon as it makes sense to, you're gonna wanna take your clothes off. So having a change of clothes, either like sealed up in a bag that's like with you in a backpack or something, or like in your car for like, if that happens, you will thank yourself for later. Absolutely. Thank you so much for asking that question. Any other questions about this kind of stuff? Sorry, do you have your hand up? Okay, so you.
I do have a question about, sorry, do you know anything about the effects of tear gas on the menstrual cycle, and does it cause miscarriages and, for...
Yeah, so question about what the effects might be of tear gas on like the menstrual cycle, if it causes things like a miscarriage, things like that. I am only an expert in tear gas through experiencing it and helping people with it. So like, I have also heard that from the first time that I heard it is through like, from the summer. So I don't know, sounds like if folks were experiencing that, then it probably is a thing. Other than that, I guess I can't really speak to it that much, but sounds like it's a thing. Yeah. What's your question? Do you have a question?
Yeah. Is there a way to get tear gas on the shoes?
Inside your shoes?
Like if you have tear gas on your shoes,
Yeah.
if you just like put them in a bag and let them sit for a while, because I mean most shoes you can't really like wash through the washing machine or something. Like, are they just done?
I don't think they're totally done in most instances. If you can't wash them, like I would just let them sit for a while, and then you could like rinse them hardcore. Like there is an end to the effects of the gas for the most part. So if you let it sit for a while, you rinse the stuff off, you'll probably be okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Just a response to that, generally I would try to leave them in the sun. Just
Yeah.
because the sun is pretty good at killing things.
Yeah, leave it in your backyard, on your balcony or whatever for a while, and then try to rinse it. Yeah. So technique, when we're talking about we're helping someone out that's just been tear gassed or pepper sprayed, Usually the worst of it is that it gets like, the hardest effects people are feeling of it is like maybe in their eyes and then also just the coughing. Depending on, I mean, now, you know, we're wearing masks all the time. People are getting pretty cool about coming out with respirators, but this is my, I don't know if this looks familiar. This is like a condiment squeeze bottle. It's like the perfect thing to use for flushing out someone's eyes or anything. It has like a really good stream, like that's not like, it's not gonna hurt you, but it's like gonna be pretty good and precise. Another cool, I mean, you can refill it a bunch of times. You can also, let me show you all the things that I brought. So this is like my holy grail. This is my go-to. I love this thing. A bunch of people get tear gassed. Everyone is really awesome and nice and brought water to the event. You could just be stabbing open holes in this and use this, less precision, but it's a little bit harder, like to direct when you just have like a stabbed in hole, but it will work. Same kind of thing. It's just that you want like dumping, like folks have like gallons of water and stuff. It will be okay, but having precision is better. So that's what will work. This is another baby I usually have in my back pocket that would help, say, if you only had, like, you're having to use a lot of stuff and you only have water bottles and you're like, I don't really want to be stabbing holes in water bottles. You could use this too, just to take in the water and then use that, anything like that. Having a little bit of like, I just forgot the word, precision is helpful. Basic technique though, when you're rinsing out someone's like eyes, like any part, you're gonna go one side to one side. So like, you're gonna, so we're rinsing out this eye first. You're gonna go from the inside corner out. Pepper spray, tear gas is like burning and they're gonna have a hard time usually keeping their eye open. You can ask that person to like hold it open for you, or you can do it for them. However, that needs to go down, but they're gonna have I mean, you even normally with no burning sensation, it's like no part of you wants to let a bunch of like water rinse out your eye. It's a normal reaction. And so when you're doing it from the inside corner out, you also want to have them tilt their head the way that you're rinsing so that it can all run off and out. And then you would repeat for the other side. For like anything that's going on, if they got like a mouthful or stuff, you can just also give them water or whatever, just have them like swish it around, spit it out a couple times before trying to like swallow anything down. And that's pretty much it. You just get that stuff off of them with a stream of water or whatever it is that you have. Questions about that? It's pretty straightforward. It's okay if you're not like doing a great job. You just get the job done. I'm gonna do it this way, and that. So, yeah.
If they've inhaled a good amount of it, does flushing the sinuses help any?
It wouldn't hurt, but it's not gonna get everywhere, and it might be hard to do. In like a more controlled environment, sure. And you can offer it and just like see what happens. And it's like dark, there's like chaos going on and everyone's having a hard time. I feel like I would have a hard time sticking something. Yeah, like they're gonna feel kind of like, with flushing sinuses, I would say like they're gonna feel like they're drowning and they're already having a hard time and it might cause more panic. But other than those things, I don't see why not. Yes.
I was wondering for approximately how long do you think you should wash each eye out before moving on to the next, or considering yourself done?
Till they feel okay. You're trying to get that like powder, in the instance of tear gas, the powder that is sticking to them off. They're probably like, it's still like just gonna hurt, like they're gonna feel a little bit of the effects. They're gonna be a little bit uncomfy, kind of no matter what, for a while, but Just until they kind of like, because you can do a couple times, like you can do like each eye, kind of like chill for a second, see how they're doing, flush again until they can like have them blink a bunch and before moving on. And it's something like if they're comfortable, you can hand the stuff to them to do it. It can just like be hard, like that might be a tall order for someone at the time, that like you're in a chaotic setting. It can cause feelings of panic because you're having a hard time breathing. You can't see, but you can be like, hey, I'll come check on you if you want to keep. Especially if it's something that you just like did yourself, and you just like stabbed over a water bottle or something, be like, here you go. If you continue feeling the effects, just kind of chill here for a minute and keep rinsing. More questions? Okay, so any other questions? No?
How would you describe how it feels, and is it possible to actually just ground yourself, or are you in a complete, like?
It depends on the person.
Yeah.
I think other people can chime in on this too that have experienced it. It sucks. It burns. Yeah, anyone can chime in that wants to about the feelings of that.
I'm back here. So I had been hit with tear gas on, I believe, the 31st, and there is no real proof that this had happened because of it, but I had a retinal detachment afterwards. I had to go into surgery, and what helped me with the process, with somebody helping flush my eyes out, was me biting onto something like a cloth or my jacket so that it can keep my eyes open at the time. But it was very painful. It does burn a lot. You don't want to keep your eye open all the time. But if you really want it to come out, you really have to keep your eye open.
Which is why you want to assist with holding the eye open if they need that, because it fucking hurts.
Yeah, I would, to answer your question again, been tear gas and mace, they both suck. I think mentally you have to just prepare yourself that it's gonna suck, and just mentally prepare yourself for like, what do I have in my toolkit, or what do medics have around me to make it better, because it is gonna suck, and if you do panic, then it's not gonna help anything. So I would just, as soon as it happens and you start feeling the effect, I would just go into the mode of like, okay, this is gonna suck. I'm gonna get through this, it's gonna be temporary. What do I have on me to help myself? Or can I call out medic if during like a protest scene? But I think just for me, the things that got me through those situations is just like, okay, this is gonna suck, but it's temporary. And then just think about exactly what you're doing in this class and like what tools you have accessible to yourself. That's the best way out of it.
Breathing does help too. Breathing in from your nose and out your mouth is really helpful to regulate your heart rate and help with a little bit of anxiety. But tear gas does get everywhere, even if you're breathing in through your nose. So just breathe in through your nose slowly. Also help.
Don't rub your eyes.
Yeah, don't do
Don't
that.
rub your eyes.
It's on, like,
With either of them, don't rub your eyes.
this is going to be also impossible to remember when you're in the situation, but try to, as much as you can, remember, like, if you just got, like, if you just got hit with tear gas, like, just think as much as you can, like, it's on everything. It is on everything. And if you, like, yay, I just flushed out my eyes and now I'm feeling a little bit better, and then you, like, touch your face or something, probably it's on your hand if you didn't already rinse it or something. Again, that would be like hard to remember, and it's, it's okay if that happens, but it's on everything. It hurts a lot. And after you have experienced it, like was said, like it can be helpful to draw upon that memory of that experience. Like, okay, yeah, I know this is awful, it's the worst, but I know that I can get through it. And it is temporary.
But is this hand sanitizer help with your glands at least?
I probably wouldn't, it has alcohol in it, so I wouldn't want to put anything that like causes a similar effect of like burning or anything that, I just wouldn't.
I used the silicone when I was maced. I used it to like wipe my hands so that I make sure it's there, and then
That's usually what I do with the dry hands while my eyes are on fire. And yeah, just make sure you have the silicone. Don't use hand sanitizer at all.
It's gonna cause a similar burning effect, and then you're just like, and then it's kind of like sticky, and then you have this weird hand sanitizer, like tear gas mess on your hands. That would be really sad. Other questions, comments, like experiences?
If you happen to
Really sure because I haven't been in that situation, but it would be a really hard 30 minutes to an hour. It would be grueling, yeah.
Really bad.
Time will stop.
Really bad.
Yeah, they was
On that
telling
note,
us
and
about
also
the
you may have
tear
to flush
gas
it more than once. Like you may flush and feel a little better, and then 5 or 10 minutes later, like have to do that again. Like a few times.
This
So the
is
30 minutes, I
Sacramento.
kind of,
If y'all didn't
like,
know,
I'm skeptical on that note
Sacramento,
with the tear gas, maybe, I think,
California,
honestly, Mace is
Seattle,
worse than tear gas in
Washington,
some
and
ways.
Minneapolis, Minnesota
So
are the three
with Mace
leading cities
specifically, I know, like,
in which
that
riot
even
police
with
use
saline
rubber
lasts a lot
bullets
longer. I
and
did
tear
not
gas
find tear
on
gas,
protesters.
so I don't know.
Aside from Oakland and Los Angeles, it's Sacramento, Seattle, and Minneapolis. Los Angeles for sure, Oakland for sure. Also Atlanta, Georgia, and New York City as well. Those are all the top cities in which the protesters get attacked by the riot police. So this young lady is answering questions in the crowd, explaining what you should do if you're ever burning from tear gas and etc. in a protest. As you know, over the past year, and since George Floyd passed away, was murdered, we have been doing what is the white lines between the police and persons of color. So put the pale skinned Americans as a shield, and they have been getting also tear gas and shot with rubber bullets, and they have even the press has as well, and the press has been getting rubber bullet shots and even arrested. Wrongfully arrested on the front lines of the protests as well. And those of you who know about protests, you know that cameras and the press is absolutely 1000% necessary to prosecute inhumane conditions and treatment of riot police. And especially freeing the protesters. As you know, the National Bail Fund was arranged specifically to bail out protesters and people who cannot afford to bail themselves out or who are wrongfully arrested, especially in a peaceful protest in which you are not doing anything illegal, damaging to public property, or disturbing the residents in that neighborhood. You should not be arrested in a peaceful protest. It is part of your amendments and your constitution, the right to protest.
They're not super expensive.
Just like the freedom of speech and the right to bear arms. Okay, I want y'all to remember that.
Called like 6,000 series.
We're gonna fade back to the background on mute. We're gonna let them continue telling us about their tear gas.
Natural gas. You have to be kind of careful with them. They're kind of surprisingly like flimsy. I'll pass this around so y'all can look at it. But it's like kind of surprisingly flimsy plastic, so you just gotta be kind of careful with them when you're putting on filter stuff. And I'll just like show you putting on one because I messed one up. And then I'll just like pass it around so y'all can look at it. But you basically want to make sure that it's like there's notches in here that will line up to the notches in here, but you want to line them up one below where you want it to eventually sit kind of like this. So you wanna go one. Now I'm gonna mess it up in front of everyone in these live streams. This is what you do at home, not during a protest. You push it in, and you twist it. So I'll pass it around so everyone can look at it. That's it. More questions, comments, concerns? No? Awesome. Oh, yeah. No, I guess it would depend on how much stuff you're after getting into. I don't think I could tell you exactly the limit on each one because it would depend on the situation. Oh, cool. Yeah, they're not exactly single use. It just depends on how much you're using it. Okay, so I'll just pass it around for both and we're done.
Just wanna go ahead and thank everyone for doing it. These are really important things that we should all know while we're out in community to keep each other safe. And for future reference, and if you want to learn more, go to We Keep Us Safe 916 and stay in contact so that way we can teach more of the community of how we can keep each other safe.
Alright guys, we're gonna go off. Thank you so much. Stay tuned for the next live feed. Let us know how this live feed is. Thank you.